Hello, hello, hello. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, July 7th, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. The only place in the world where you can get trends in the news, because the only stuff they're selling you in the moronic media is a lot of garbage. Front page, yesterday's toilet paper record, the New York Times. Abortion fights will be in the hands of state justices. Okay, how's that going to affect you in trying to prepare for the future? Shooting suspect left police a trail of red flags. Okay, great. Diagnosis gives little clarity to those who left to grieve NFL star. Sorry the cat died, but hey, my dear cousin Josephina died. She didn't make the headlines, you know. Georgia inquiry is subpoenaing 7 Trump out. Again, just stupid crap. So on to the markets. The S&P, now 4-day winning streak. You know, the Dow was up today 346 points on the news of
bullshit.
That's right. It's total fucking bullshit what's going on there. Hedge funds are running the game, shorting it, longing it. End of story. The Great Recession, the greatest recession has begun, and it's going to get much worse. The NASDAQ, it's up 4 straight sessions. How come? Because of
Bullshit.
And let's see. The S&P, it went up too, but it's still down 19%. So bear just picked its head out of bear territory. And initial jobless claims, they ticked up a bit. U.S. trade deficit, only $85.5 billion. A trade deficit. Once upon a time, before the slime balls sold out this country and brought everything to China and other countries so they could get cheap labor, we didn't have deficits, we had surpluses. And the big news, they're waiting for the monthly jobs report. Tomorrow, gold is down because the dollar is up. And you're looking at the euro now, it's at a 20-year low against the dollar. And that's the only big competition. And they haven't raised interest rates. They're still at minus 0.5%, even though inflation is at 8.6%. And the scumbags keep lying for years that when inflation hit 2%, they would raise them. So that's why your dollar is strong, because the Fed's raising rates. Same thing in China. They got a negative, Japan rather. They got a negative interest rate. So, of course, the yen's not looking very good. So as the higher the dollar goes, the lower the other currencies go, and the worse the financial crisis builds, particularly in emerging markets, because they borrowed all this money in dollars. And the dollar being strong is a freak show. We got a $30 trillion debt. It's a joke. So what you're looking at is that dollars going up and bullion is a non-yielding asset. But we're still very bullish on it, and we have the breakout points in the Trends Journal, and it's getting near its breakout point now. And again, oil went up today because of, even though demand, they say, is going to go down, supply's down too. ECB solidarity plan faces political hurdles. This is from the Financial Times. You ready for this? The 25 Eurozone rate sector meeting in Amsterdam thought they had plenty of time to finalize the European Central Bank's plan for avoiding a bond market crisis when they started to raise rates. They were wrong. They haven't raised rates, and they've been wrong about everything. And then you're looking at, the ECB is considering a requirement for countries to commit themselves to medium-term fiscal sustainability plan. That means pumping in more cheap money. This thing is going to go down big, it's going to go down hard, and it's going to go down fast. Office owners fret about recession. Huh, wow, big story here. Oh, we only said this, what, in the Trends Journal? Back in April of 2020. History before it happens, warning that this was going to happen. The index tracking shares of publicly traded offices owners was down 29% over the first 2 quarters. This thing is going to go down big and hard. In this whole article, not a mention of what the office occupancy rate is. And when you look at the United States and try to put it all together, it's around the 50 to 55% range. That means all the businesses that depended on commuters, finito. And the numbers here about all the people that are not going to go back to work full time. So you have the dry cleaners, 30% they estimate are out of business. No more happy hours at the bars. The delicatessens that people, all the places for lunch, finito. This is big, it's serious, and it's just taking place. Because now with interest rates going up, their debt load is going to get a lot heavier. We are looking at the biggest global crisis in recorded history. This lockdown of 2 years has destroyed the lives and livelihoods of billions. And what they're now blaming it on, you ready, is the pandemic. Not the actions taken by these little arrogant bastards and bitches. Arrogant pieces of shit that made up crap to lock down everywhere. You can open your restaurant, but only 25%, because we got some scumbag in there, a little fuck that's a bureaucrat that sucks off the public tit, a dumb little prick, and I can't say the other word, that can't get a job in the real world. We say 25%, you can open up at, you got to close at 10 p.m. and you can open up at 9 a.m. They have destroyed this at levels that are unprecedented, but what are they blaming it on? Here you go. Wall Street Journal. Recession forecasting model is broken. The pandemic brought about major distortions to the economy. The pandemic brought about? Hey, fuckface who wrote this. Hey, you little prostitute piece of shit. Not the pandemic. Not the pandemic. These murderous bastards and bitches that lock down society. A fucking scumbag like little Andy Cuomo making up his shit, throwing it out, and the Hollywood freaks, other pieces of scum crap, the Kimmels, the crapheads, the Colberts, all of the fucking shits, giving him an Emmy Award for bullshitting. Calm down, Zelensky. Calm down. Why don't you swallow their shit like the rest of the people? They have destroyed this. Get this in your head. And now these prostitutes, these media whores, you know what they're blaming it on? Not the pricks, and I can't say the other word, who did it. Ready? Wall Street Journal. The pandemic has changed the geography of American economy. Not the pandemic, fuckface. Not the pandemic. The maniacs that did this. Oh, and one of them left office today. How I'll miss that ugly fucking scumbag, cock-sucking little bastard who's gone now. Boris Johnson. Yep. Well, I haven't seen Lola around lately either. Where's Lola? Yeah, look at the shitheads that made up this crap. Lola, LOL. Look at these fuck faces that have destroyed life, sucked the joy out of it. Calm down, Zelensky. How dare you not swallow my shit? I'm your governor. I'm your mayor. I'm your president. I'm some little fucking scumbag bureaucrat. Anyway, you read this article, throughout it, analysts who have studied the migration, they're talking about the places where business is good in America, attributed much of it to the pandemic. No, not the pandemic. I'm telling you this, they're going to keep doing this all the time. Be aware of it. Right over here, they just keep on going with it. Some researchers have reported the pandemic restrictions played a role. Pandemic restrictions? No, not the pandemic restrictions. Who wrote this shit? Josh Mitchell. Pandemic throughout this article. It's not the pandemic, fuckface. Calm down, Zelensky. Swallow their shit. We don't like you. We believe in their shit. How dare you not swallow their shit like we do? Luxury shares lose their shine. Oh, yeah. Wonder why. Cyber firms cut step. Can't believe it. All right, on to the war. European Parliament backs, not this war. European Parliament backs listing nuclear energy gases green. All right? Nuclear energy. They're all want to go nuclear now. We got to get rid of that Russian oil. We got to get a clean economy. Hey, you ever hear of Fukushima, fuckhead? Hey, how about Chernobyl? What was that place in Pennsylvania? I forgot the name of that place. Yeah. Oh, and what do you do with that? The oceans filled with Fukushima radiation. We won't talk about that. Look at the crap heads running this show. Speaking of which, one of our articles, take a look at the Trends Journal cover. The big lie, Russia will lose. No peace talks allowed. So I guess little comedian playing the president of Ukraine, who played a comedian on TV, Zelensky, I guess he was blinded by the cover of the Trends Journal because he just did an interview with the wolf puppy dog Blitzer on the Cartoon News Network today. Ukrainians are not ready to give away their land to accept that these territories belong to Russia. This is our land. We always talk about that, and we are intending to prove it. And then they go on to write, Russia's war with Ukraine has lasted now more than 4 months, with no sign of either backing down. 4 months? Hey, Cartoon News Network shitheads, fuckface, 4 months? More than 4 months. How long did the Afghan war go on? Shithead. 20 years? How about that Vietnam War? A little over 10. Hey, how about that Iraq War? Well, it went from 2003 to 2011, but then Obama bought it back in 2014. Here, this is what they do. Look at your toilet paper record, the New York Times, the front page yesterday, not one worthy story, but they had this big one over here on the left-hand column, fleeing home may be forever in the Donbass. And then you open up the paper, look at the big picture. Oh, another page of it, except for one little story on the right. Oh, and that little story on the right, what does it say? It says about the United States, how we're going to have to pay for this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to pay. You got it? That's right. Then you go to the next page. Look at this. They didn't do this for Fallujah. Hey, Mad Dog Mattis, you murderer. They didn't show who you were killing. In Iraq, don't show this as 650,000 Syrians that have been killed. Hey, you never showed day after day, picture after picture in Afghanistan, you little fucking prostitute whores. You little scumbags. You little pieces of shit. How come you didn't do this in the other wars? Hey, how come you're not showing the destruction of Yemen every day? Oh, because Obama brought that war. Oh, and bullshit Blinken, our Undersecretary of State, was involved in that. Don't show that. No. No. Only show what's going on in Ukraine. Don't be afraid, my friends, stabilizing the wounded amid the din of war, caring for soldiers and civilians in battles for their lives near the front line. Never showed America's mass murder all around the globe. Little prostitute pieces of shit, and that's why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. You get only the facts, only the reality, only what's going on, so hey, you can help prepare, prevail, and prosper. Here you go. Westway's daunting job of rebuilding Ukraine, right? With that page. Oh, a daunting job for us? Our fucking country's falling apart, and they need $750 billion to rebuild it after we gave them the weapons to destroy it, and no one's talking about this. I am. And that's why you have to come to our Occupy Peace rally. And here it is. Go to occupypeace.com. July 23rd, 2 p.m. at the Four Corners of Freedom, John and Crown Street in Kingston, New York. The Hot Damn Band, I'll be speaking. Judge Andrew Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Gary Null from Progressive Radio Network, the guy who put the whole thing together on PRN, and others. So do what you can to be here and support this, because if we don't unite for peace, these fuck faces, these freaks, these sick people that have destroyed our lives with the COVID war are going to send us to hell with the Ukraine war. Again, Putin to Ukraine. Russia has barely started its action. This is today following the bullshit coming out of Zelensky's mouth. Putin says, it's a tragedy for the Ukrainian people, but it looks like it's heading in that direction. Everybody should know that, largely speaking, we haven't even yet started anything in earnest. He declared that Russia remains ready to sit down for talks to end the fighting. But not Zelensky won't sit down for talks to end the fighting. Adding that, quote, those who refuse to do so should know that the longer it takes, the more difficult it will be for them to make a deal with us. We said this before the war started, those exact words. But nobody listened to us. Not one fucking person in the media will report on our Occupy Peace forecasts and our Trends Journal forecasts, because they suck up, they bow down, their media whores, to their government whore masters and their corporate pimps. He's saying it right there. Everybody should know that, largely speaking, we haven't even yet started anything in earnest. We are hearing that they want to defeat us on the battlefield, Putin said. Let them try. And this is what AP writes. Earlier in the conflict, the Kremlin demanded that Kiev acknowledge Russian sovereignty over Crimean Peninsula. It annexed. They had a vote there, and 96% of the people voted to leave. Number two, they don't have that. And recognize the independence of Moscow-backed separatist regions in eastern Ukraine. Again, there was a coup in 2014, launched by the United States, that we detailed step by step in the Trends Journal as it happened back in 2014. These are the things that they're looking to negotiate, and they refuse. Putin goes on to say, they simply don't need. It goes on to say, the course of history is unstoppable, and attempts by the West to enforce its vision of a global order are doomed to fail. But not according to Americans. We had fuckface Lindsey Graham, a little prick that every war he loved, and another arrogant boy born on third base and thought he had a home run, a member of the club, went to the school in Riverdale, went to Harvard. Yep. This guy, Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut. Yep. They're visiting Ukraine, and he goes on to say that they want to give him more weapons. And this is the Blumenthal, by the way, that in his 2010 U.S. Senate campaign, he said that he'd misspoken about his military service in Vietnam. He lied. Hey, fuckface, you lied. You didn't misspeak. He said at a ceremony honoring veterans in 2008, "We have learned something important since the days that I served in Vietnam." Liar, liar. He goes on to say that didn't go on to say he got a bunch of deferments to complete his studies at Harvard. He got a graduate fellowship in England, served as special assistant to the Washington Post publisher. Well, now he got there, Katharine Graham. And he got a job at the Nixon White House. And in 1970, with his deferment in jeopardy, he landed a coveted spot in the Marine Reserve, which virtually guaranteed that he would not have to be going to Vietnam. In 2003, the Bridgeport News reported that he said, "When we returned from Vietnam, we saw nothing like this," meaning from Vietnam, suggesting that he had personally been among those troops who served the country of Vietnam, which he did not. In 2007, the Milford Mirror reported that at a Memorial Day parade, Attorney General Blumenthal said, "In Vietnam, we had to endure taunts and insults, and no one said, 'Welcome home.'" Then he goes on to say, "On a few occasions, I have misspoken about my service, and I regret that." Misspoke? You lied. You arrogant prick, you lied. You're a draft dodger. What'd you get? 3, 4, 5 draft deferments? You're a fucking draft dodger, but you love war, just like Biden and all you other guys that won't go fight. You're a disgrace to humanity. Draft dodging prick. You're a draft dodging prick. I dodged the draft, and I was too stupid to be against the war. I just didn't want to go get killed. I didn't misspeak. Liar. Of course you're a liar. You are a representative of Congress, a crime syndicate. On and on we got here. Oh, ethnic killings escalate in troubles in Ethiopia. Oh, don't put that in the news. Forget about it. Kill all of them. It's only been going on for a while. Congo president warns of war in Rwanda. Who gives a fuck about a Rwanda? We got Ukraine. This is the same shit. Fuckface Blumenthal, fuckface Biden, fuckface Graham, that they sold us with the Vietnam War. If you don't stop the Vietnamese, those dominoes are going to be falling. A little scumbag, that James Buckley, who talks so arrogantly with a little fucking dick. And if we don't stop those commies in Vietnam, those dominoes will keep falling, and they'll hit the shores of California. And the people swallow the shit. Just like they're saying now, if Russia gets Ukraine, oh, then Finland, then Estonia, then Lithuania, then Sweden, and then all of Europe, and then the world. The same shit. The same shit. If we don't unite for peace, We are going to die in war. New study from study finds. A nuclear war between world powers would trigger a little ice age. A nuclear war between NATO and Russia or another pair of world powers would trigger a nuclear ice age lasting thousands of years, a new study warns. Okay. You want to know why I'm so passionate about this? And angry because of these crazy bastards and bitches that keep taking us to war? July 23rd, Kingston, New York, the Four Corners of Freedom, Crown and John Street, 2 p.m. We'll have vendors, the Hot Damn Band. We're going to unite for peace and stop this. We could defeat them. United we stand, divided we die. And support us and support yourself. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. The things that we're talking about now, a lot of old news to Trends Journal subscribers at the grand total of $2 a week. The toilet paper, a record, $3 a day, $5 on Sunday, and you get shit. You get crap. So, if you want to swallow crap, stay in the mainstream. If you want to prepare, prevail, and prosper, you need the Trends Journal. TrendsJournal.com. Thank you. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.